to where Jesus was. And she saw him. Oh, do you see all those people that comfort? Jesus they cannot be. So appreciate them, because they love you deeply. But it is Christ you need when you're in grief. As soon as Mary came, she fell at his feet. It was the King of Glory, or King of Kings, that she did meet. Lord, if you had been there, my brother, he would not have died. Lord, do you hear my cry? When Jesus saw her crying, and the Jews who were crying with her, he was deeply moved in his spirit, and he was troubled. Where have you put him? He asked. Lord, they told him, come and see. Jesus wept, but not in hopeless tears. But our great high priest identified with us in our fears. He identified with us in our pain. But death, it would not reign. He knew that separation from those we love, it hurts so deep. He knows us in our deepest griefs. If you're listening, he's calling out to you. Oh Mary, oh Adam, where are you? In disbelief, some of them said, could he open the blind man's eyes? Couldn't he have kept this man from dying? Then Jesus, deeply moved again, came to the tomb. He came to the place of death, to the thoughts of death. deeply moved again, came to the tomb. It was a cave. There was a stone lying against it, yet he came to save. All he knew, symbolic of his tomb, though we couldn't see it just yet. Martha, the dead man's sister, told him, "Lord, there's already a stench because he's been dead 4 days." In disillusionment, our expectations lie in the grave. Martha, you're set on earthly things. Didn't I tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? Well, don't you know the joy that I will bring? So they removed the stone. Jesus raised his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me. I thank you that you have heard me, that you always hear me. But because of the crowd standing here, I said this. It's not my faith that's weak, but those with me. And they must believe that you've sent me." After he said this, he shouted with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" The dead man came out, bound hand and foot with linen strips, and with his face wrapped in a cloth. Unwrap him and let him go. Lifeless and hopeless lay I in the grave. There I was dead in my sin. Until your majesty appeared, and your power, your spirit entered in. Oh, Lazarus, awake! Come out, oh dead man! All my failures and my past mistakes, they couldn't hold me down, no. Safe and secure here in your love, how he loved him. A dead man walking, how can this be? Unbind him and let him go. That grave life, the bondage of death, he shall no longer know. I had on grave clothes that were prepared for death, but life came through your redeeming breath. Oh, Martha, Martha, why did you doubt? This pain your unbelief has brought about. Your mind was set on earthly things, but oh, the joy that Jesus brings. In his time, all God's goodness he will give. So now in patience I will live. Behold, your king comes to you on a donkey, do not fear. Emmanuel, he has drawn near. Oh, death, where is your sting, our greatest fear? Grave, where is your victory? The King is here. And so, wake up, sleeper, and Christ will shine. For you are a human that needs the divine. So we learn today, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it cannot bear fruit, but if it dies, it bears much fruit. We have to die with Christ. Like the disciples, we have to push past the fear of death and understand that Christ did not consider his life, his physical life, of higher worth than his following his Father's will. You will never be where God wants you to be if you're stuck in fear and self-preservation. Sometimes you're in grief and you're trying to go to Jesus, but you can't get there. He knows you. And he calls you to come. He comes to you. He comes in his timing. For at the right time, Christ died for the ungodly, and at the right time, Jesus came for Lazarus. And he's coming for you, and he's calling for you to come to him. For he has a power that resurrects.